Testing. Shh. Pause it.
Holy cow, that was, So basically, I don't know how they did it, because Rick was trapped inside the car, and it was surrounded by walkers, and Michonne was trapped in the trunk, but they somehow managed to crawl on top of the car, kick a few walkers away from the car, enough for them to jump over the fence, a tiny itty-bitty barrier fence, to the carnival area. And, they decided to, split up, take whatever walkers follow them. Michelle ends up at this huge slide while Rick ends up at the Ferris wheel. And Michonne's down to 8 and he's down to 10, and he notices something in the distance, so he starts climbing the frickin' Ferris wheel, and it turns out to be that frickin' deer that Michonne saw earlier, right? What I thought was interesting was that I think he wanted to shoot the deer for Michonne, but then he noticed these walkers heading toward it, and he's like, oh man, right? Because the walkers will most likely get to it before he does. But this is what I noticed. Those walkers that were heading toward the deer, did you notice that their hands were tied? Was I the only one that saw that? Because, when Rick saw the deer, he took out his gun, he was about to shoot them, and then he saw the walkers heading toward it, and he's like, oh, the walkers are most likely gonna get it to it, right? The walkers are heading toward the deer. Their hands were like this, from what I saw, which means, if I saw correctly, and their hands were literally like this, that means their hands were tied. Why were their hands tied? Did you guys notice that? Or was that just me? Like, for real. But anyway, yeah, the walkers' hands were like this, and I'm assuming their hands were tied. But anyway, Rick was, I think, on top of one of the Ferris wheel, cars. I don't even know what they are. But he was sitting on one of them, he was standing on one of them, and one of them breaks off and he falls, right? Right there in front of the walkers that were heading toward the deer, and the deer, I thought, ran off because he got scared by the sound, right? So you see Rick on the ground trying to get up, and then he starts shooting the walkers. Michonne notices him fall, so she runs toward him, only to, like, all she saw was Rick on the ground like this, shooting, and then he obviously ran out of bullets. And then you just see the walkers swarm him, and it looks like they were eating him, and I was freaking out. I was like, you are not going to kill Rick this way! That's bull! Oh my god! And then Michonne just freezes, like, all hope is gone, and then her sword drops, she's in, like, panic mode, she's out of it, right? And I don't blame her, but, like, I was like, did they really kill Rick that way? And then all of a sudden Rick comes out of nowhere, he was, like, hiding behind, like, a bunch of metal sheets or something in that same area, and I was like, what the hell were they eating? And then I remembered, the deer, even though it did get scared off by the noise, he probably didn't go very far. So my suspicions was right, because Rick showed up, gave Michonne back her sword, and they killed all the walkers surrounding them. There it was, a quick glance behind Rick, but it was there. Rick even says, I tried, but I guess I still owe you a deer. And it was like right there, all mutilated and shit. And I was like, oh my god. For a moment there, it's almost like that Glenn scene. Remember Glenn and that one Alexandrian? They were on top of the dumpster, and then the dude pretty much shoots himself, and when he shoots himself, he brings Glenn down with him and lands on top of him, and we all believe that the walkers were killing Glenn. That's what I thought too. But anyway, the commercials are done. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. The episode already ended, but I had to do something real quick. My dog, apparently he was still hungry, I don't know why. So, put more food out for him. I had to make sure the house was, like, closed, locked, and secure, and everything was off. But anyway, where did I leave off at? Apparently, the guns that they were searching for were, in fact, for those dumpster people that they made a deal with. Give us a bunch of guns, and, we'll help you in the war against the saviors and all that stuff. And from what I saw, Rick and Michonne are obviously there. Tara's there. I think Tara's there. Rosita's definitely there. And I think I saw Father Gabriel. I'm not sure if anyone else was there. but I think it's the original group that was there when they first met this group, this dumpster crew. But it's like they had a bunch of guns. I don't remember how many, but the lady in charge was like, not enough. And Rosita's like, what? There's a lot of guns there, right? And it's like, we're gonna need double these guns. And they're all trying to spark a deal, and the lady's like, you can only get 9. You can only have 9 of these guns you found, and you give me back the cat. And Rick's like, you know what? No, we're getting 20 of these guns, and I'm keeping the damn cat. I saw that, I was laughing so freaking hard. I was like, I'm done. They're arguing about a metal cat. It was glorious. But she actually conceded. She's like, fine, 20. And you see members of her community getting the guns and everything. You see Rosita's obviously pissed off about this, right? And you see her next thing you know, we see Tara walking out of what I assume is her house, and Rick shows up. He's like, hey, how are you? Are you okay? And everything. He's like, yeah, I was about to come see you. And then Rick's like, have you seen Rosita? And it's like, I think she might be going somewhere to get more, right? He's like, oh, okay. And he's like, you said you wanted to see me. And she's like, I have something to tell you. And when I heard that, I was like, is Tara actually going to tell Rick about Oceanside? Will she actually tell him, yeah, I kind of lied about not knowing. I actually ran into a community called Oceanside. All women. Apparently the saviors have killed all the men. And they have a lot of guns. And one of them saved my life in exchange for not telling you guys who they were and where they were. And so I have a feeling Rosita's not gonna, not Rosita, Tara, I keep switching Tara and Rosita so bad. But I have a feeling Tara's not gonna say it like that, but the fact that she's like, you could tell that she looked hella guilty, because she was obviously one of the people there when they made the exchange with the guns. And when they said we need double the amount of these guns, you could, they panned over to her and you could see that she's like, oh. And there was also a moment before that where she's talking, obviously she's babysitting Judith. Speaking of Judith, damn, that girl grew. Did you see how big she is? The last time I saw Judith is when Negan came over and saw Judith for the first time and had bouncing her on his lap, and she was still baby status. This girl has a full head of hair. It's like up to here. The curls are literally up to here. She obviously big. Damn, that girl grew. How long has it been since we last saw Judith in the hands of Negan till this episode? 'Cause that girl grew. Like, for real. She grew. I'm scared how fast she grew. How much time has passed in between Negan seeing Judith and now? 'Cause damn, she grew. Anyway, beforehand, before the whole exchange of the guns, Tara was obviously contemplating whether she should tell people about Oceanside, because she's playing around with the little bracelet she got. I forgot from who. It was one of the Oceanside people. I'm not sure it was the one that saved her life. I'm not sure. But anyway, she's contemplating, she's looking at the bracelet, and she's babysitting Judith, and at one point she's like, should I tell them, should I not, and all that stuff. She's like contemplating, right? And of course, all I gotta say about that scene is damn, Judith grew. But anyway, when Tara told Rick, I gotta tell you something, I was like, oh shit, she's actually going to say something about Oceanside? Is she gonna admit that she actually lied about finding a place with guns? Anyway, to Rosita, we see her wandering around. I thought she was wandering around a random place. I thought she was either wandering Alexandria or some random ass place, because I thought she was wandering a random ass place because she had a backpack and a gun on her, like a long pistol-like gun, not pistol, a long gun on her and everything. I thought she was scavenging around again in a random place. But I also thought that she was still in Alexandria's area because it looked like a little community around her. It turns out she's at Hilltop. She's actually at Hilltop because when she rounds the corner, there's Sasha in between Glenn and Abraham's graves. Obviously, like, you know, paying her respects and shit. Rosita made the trip to Hilltop. And what's awkward is that she went straight to Sasha, who I thought she'd never get along with, because, Abraham. And Sasha's all confused. She's like, are you here to pay your respects? She's like, no, I'm here for your help. And that's all Rosita says. It's like, I need your help. And Sasha immediately gets it, because she's like, I'll go on one condition. I get to take the shot. Obviously, they're talking about Negan. Obviously, Rosita wanted Sasha's help to take down Negan, and Sasha apparently already knew that, because all Rosita had to say was, I need your help. And Sasha's like, I'll go with you, only if you let me get the shot at Negan. And then she's like, fair enough. And she gives her a frickin' sniper rifle. Nice sniper rifle. She's like, yeah, Rick and Michonne found guns. It's like, but they're not making moves. Like, no, because they need more guns, more excuses, and apparently this plan Rick is making up is apparently not fast enough for Rosita to take down Negan. Apparently it's not good enough for Sasha either, because she's like, I'm in and all that stuff, right? And I was like, oh my god. Especially when Rosita's like, this is a one-way ticket for you and me, right? If there's a you and me. It's like, oh, there's a you and me. And all that stuff. And I was like, oh my god, are we going to lose Sasha? Are we going to lose Rosita and Sasha at the end of season 7? Are we going to lose one of them or both of them? Because they're both going there by themselves. Apparently Rosita also said she memorized everything about the Savior compound when she learned it from both Carl and Daryl, because remember, both of them have been in the compound, Daryl as a prisoner. And then Sasha's like, yeah, I memorized the exterior of the Savior compound from Jesus. So they know the outside and inside because of the 3 people. And so, but it's only the 2 of them against the Saviors. Then again, Eugene is still in the Savior compound. It's still not enough. If Rosita and Sasha do manage to survive enough to get to Eugene, it's still only 3 of them against all of them. So it's like, are we actually going to lose one of these 3? Is there actually going to be a crossfire when Rosita and Sasha end up in the Savior compound? Will there be crossfire? Will one of them or both of them get killed? And will Eugene unfortunately get caught in the crossfire or die trying to fight? I don't know. But judging by the fact that Rosita and Sasha are on the way to the compound to kill Negan, just the 2 of them, there's a very big chance one of them or both of them will die. And the fact that Eugene is still in the compound, where he could possibly get killed, he might be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He might get caught in the crossfire, or he might help. If he sees Sasha and Rosita, or they find him, he might, man up and try to help, and then end up getting killed that way, die fighting. So there is a good chance we might lose 1, 2, or possibly 3 of our Alexandrians. We might actually lose 3 people. There's a good chance we might literally lose 3 people at the end of season 7, judging by this, because Rosita and Sasha are on their way to the Saviors, just the 2 of them, to kill Negan. So one or both of them might die, because there's 2 of them against the world, practically, and Eugene's still there, and like I said, he might either get caught in the crossfire, or if Rosita and Sasha find him, or he sees them and he tries to help them, he might end up dying by fighting. So we might literally lose either 1 to 3 of our heroes by the end of season 7, guys, and I'm deathly afraid. But anyway, this is my reaction rant to this episode. God, I forgot the title. Hang on. How much do I have? Plenty of time to say the title. Hang on. Okay. Title. Title, where are you, title? I know I wrote you down somewhere. No, that's Legends of Tomorrow. Yeah, it's March 5th. Anyway, this is my reaction rant to Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 12, titled Say Yes. And I'll see you guys in the next one, which is Episode 13, literally titled Bury Me Here. That can't be good. Anyway, bye, guys.